So I'm sitting here in reflective time out. I know, I like my Georgia shirt. I was born in Georgia. Original Georgia peach. There are a lot of people who are from Georgia who are not originally from Georgia. A lot of people always like to say there's I'm this, I'm that, and they're not originally a part of that, but they make it theirs. There's no harm in that. I mean, but just don't forget that you weren't there first. People do that. People like to come somewhere and then say, "Oh, this was all made for me," forgetting that the people who were there before you, no, they made that. You didn't make it. You just came and became a part of it. I mean, well, anyway. I'm sitting here in contemplative reflection, a Saturn timeout. And so I'm realizing how much I say. See, it's weird now for me to say it. It's weird now for me to say it, of how much I say the word at the wrong time. Well, not the wrong time, but in the wrong mindset. Not really though, because if it is, it is. Bottom line is, I say the word pussy too much. Not because number one, I'm not the Pisces who sold pussy online, or I don't sell pussy, and I don't. I'm not gonna marry, have a baby for a scandalous ass rapper that's gonna be broke in a couple of years and wants to bring multiple people to the bed like it's exciting, bitch. I will kill you and the bitch or whatever. I started to say it. I caught myself. Mother. So I started to say, I don't do no pussy ass shit like that. It's a bunch of pussies. And it's that. I need to I'm trying not to say that word so much. Because I realize if I say it to somebody that I may not necessarily want to hurt, uh or do. But I realize how that can have, just like grabbing my nut. I always laugh at that. I don't. I just it's really hard for me sometimes to imagine why men get so offended when I grab my nuts in front of them when they're doing some stupid shit. And that's the equivalent. Someone told me if someone called you a nigga bitch to your face, you would clock them, and and I would. And it's like, well, that's the equivalent of you grabbing your nuts in a man's face. And I'm like, really? Is it really? Because I mean, like, is it really? Because some of y'all act like such pussy ass. Oh, I really am working on it though. Would I call my daddy a pussy? Oh, never. My daddy was no pussy ass bitch. My daddy, my mom called somebody. Where do you think I get it from? My aunt in a heartbeat. was a ha ha. So the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, and that's the problem. Some of your trees have been very, very bad. You just have like a lot of pussy ass bitch trees that should never, see the light of day. No, but everything is for a purpose. So that was cruel to say. See, at least I'm aware. At least I am aware when I am being cruel. Some people are never aware. And usually they're sent to me for school. Because I'll brick a fool. Whew. It's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. But in the process, I have to realize it's like when you dealing. It's like how my mom, when she worked. Like when nurses, they switch their floors from time to time. Like so, my mom. They put my mom on the psych ward, and I think she only stayed there like I don't know if it's like a few months or few. I think it's a few. I don't know. It's either 7 months or I don't know something. But because you can't be around that all the time, or it makes if you're around something all the time, you understand what I'm saying? Because it's a psych ward and it's military. So it's a different. The psych ward at a military hospital is a little different than the psych ward other places because it's just a whole other set of stress. That's why I was trained by the best, and they had to. Both my mom and my dad, I realized more than ever. Even my aunt. My aunt had one eye. She had a prosthetic eye. She had I forgot what happened. She was sick or something, and I know she had an operation in Utah or something like that, and it's weird because Utah, Salt Lake City. It's weird. It's weird when I think of the people, the places where people are plugged into me, and it's like, ooh, wow, this shit goes deep. Whatever this thread is, but I'm thinking about just recently how my aunt, my Pisces aunt, one eye. To live all your life with just one eye, but she protected me. This woman was eagle-eyed. She almost overprotected me. But my mom and my dad left me in her hands when they were busy doing what they did. So they would only leave me in the hands with the best because, I mean, they know what they gave birth to. So, but that woman was amazing. And to think of all these bitches at the church and shit like that, and people like would just play her and play my uncle, preachers. All you gotta do is rub a preacher in his head and his ego and give him a little money, and these preachers would be like, hey, I just, the same uncle that I hit in the head with a glass baby ball, he made up for it later on by, giving my inheritance away to a hoe. Preachers. Anyway, Virgos. Anyway, but pussy ass men. I know, mother. But I mean, when my uncle, I mean, for the most part, except for those final days, those final moments, my uncle was good to me, I guess. Maybe, my aunt was a bit much for him. Pisces usually are for Virgos. She put up with it. So I watched her. I saw on both sides what I would like and what I wouldn't like. I don't know some of the drama, the intimate drama between my uncle and my aunt, but I know at the end, it wasn't pretty for none of us. So, anyway, I have a lot of issues that I have to work on my own. So, when people want to try to come in and compound my issues with their issues and then just feel like whatever that attitude is. I mean, some people get so high of themselves they feel like they can treat you any kind of way. You really do have guys that feel like they can smack women down. They can, just drop some, clean that up, bitch. Bitch, I will kill you instantly. I mean, my husband was in Desert Storm. If he was here, he'd tell you, don't ever. Because we had our little fights too. But, not to the point where we kill each other. No, I mean, well, there were those times. But, I mean, just being honest. But at the end of the day, he was a soldier to the end. He was protecting his wife, maybe protecting his own life. A weaker man would have ran right into the house. He ran all the way around the corner and away from where I was at to draw them away. That's why I wear, because two of the guys that did it, hell was like this. Most of my people, most of my family, mostly who I call family and friends in Atlanta, hell was like this. They would want me to come back home, and I couldn't, because I couldn't look at people whose hair was like this. So what happens in the last couple of years of the gang stalking, between somebody put me in a Selena episode where bitches who trying to be me literally want to kill me now, and I'm realizing, oh my God, I'm like a black Selena, not Selena Gomez, Selena the singer, where the woman, wanted to help her. I wanted to help you, and wanted to help her right into her life. Between that and the fact of the hair cutting thing, like, cut your hair. But this is my badge of honor. This is my Medal of Honor because it took a lot I love myself, but it took a lot for me to grow my hair and look at knowing how much I love myself to see if I could love people who wore locks again. Because for a couple of years, I was afraid to even look at people like me, and I'm never good at being afraid. It has been really, really clear, and somebody found that out last year. When I really am like Doctor Who, one thing you should never, ever do is make the doctor feel trapped. Because when the doctor snaps, the doctor snaps. My mother was like that. Daddy was like that. I'm like that. So this is a conversation of how I apologize for calling somebody pussy ass bitch when maybe a little bit too much that it hurts your feelings. But if I called you that, what did you do to deserve it? And know this, I'm not a pussy ass bitch. I've been through a lot. Helicopter. I'm chilling. But I should be watched for protection. My protection and yours. You don't want her to go Dark Phoenix on us. Or do you? Be careful what you wish for. It's just... That was gassy. I got gassy. Levity. You gotta laugh at stuff. Even I curved it, Mom. I didn't say it again. Pabs.